Sorry, I had to find my glasses. Hello everyone, Kimbate's here. We're doing some quests in Leo today, and hopefully we will do the next step in the Archon quest chain. Yeah, that's the plan for today. Всем привет, с вами Kimbates. Сегодня мы поделаем... I hear myself, I shouldn't hear myself, it's distracting. Kimbates here. Зачем я это говорю? Я уже это сказал. Да, сегодня попытаемся пройти квест Архонтов, влево, чуть дальше, продвинуть сюжет. Попытаемся покачать вот этого товарища. Но он новичок у меня в команде, и он очень хорош. Так, нет игрового аудио. Сейчас я это исправлю. Надо исправить мой импровизированный сетап на что-то более хорошее. Да, вот так. Все, теперь я и игру слышу, и вы игру слышите. Замечательно. Так вот. Да, синцу. Качаем синцу сегодня. Чуть-чуть качаем, а потом идем делать квесты. У нас еще полно комиссионов на сегодня. Я еще ничего не делал сегодня по комиссионам. Поэтому начнем с них. Я только что пришел с прогулки. Очень хорошая погода сегодня. Солнечно, осень. Красота. В парке тепло. Не в парке тоже тепло. Везде тепло, очень хорошо. Очень многословно, спасибо. Очень не хочешь, чтобы кодексы намокли. Ну, можно и понять, Интересно. Надо будет послушать. Возможно, какие-нибудь гидро-персонажи любят дождь. Очень многие не любят дождь. Из того, что я слышал уже и в игре. Здравствуйте. Так. Так, не очень мне нравится то, что мы леденеваем постоянно. В этом ты виноват. Ты все еще не умер. О, Господи. Как вы можете видеть, я явно не в форме. Еще не успел влиться в GENSHIN ритм сегодня. Так, башня. Я и забыл, что нужно башню разлить. Заблокировали башенкой. Замечательно. Я считаю. Так. Ну, остался только ты. С тобой мы легко разберемся. Прячься, ты не прячься. Ну что ж ты такое? Да, конечно, то, что дождь, оно нам помогает и не очень помогает. О, дождь кончился. Потому что щит не горит. То, что в ДЖД щит не горит, это, конечно, логично, но немножко мешает. Еще у нас закончился, да. Надо помнить, что Синцу очень хорошо наносит гидро. Этим он хорош. Хорош тем, что он хорош. Вот, как бы тут ничего не поспоришь. Когда ты хорош в чем-то, ты хорош. А вот если ты не хорош, то, к сожалению, ты не слишком хорош. Чтобы быть в чем-то хорош, нужно быть хорош в этом. Это самое главное. Ну вот все и свелось к пресловутому get good, да? Ну ладно, ну ладно. Ох, все оппоненты вновь. Ау. Нет, нет, не то. Да, логично. Так. Ау. Ох, какие вы бесячие, ребята. Вот ты самый бесячий. Вот ты тут наверху. Так. Так. Неплохо получается. Могло бы получаться еще лучше, если бы этот дурак на башне не стоял, но что поделать. Что ж поделать. Так. Мы даже каким-то образом сумели. До тебя достает ешка Синцу. Замечательно. Она достаточно медленная. О! Замечательно. Уф. Ладно, интересно, интересно. Сейчас попробуем немножко поиграть этой связкой. Может быть, я пойму, что мне еще не нужно или чего мне лишнее. Это на самом деле первый раз, когда я ими играю. Так уж прямо простите, по-хорошему. Так, что тут у нас? Надо попробовать. Надо как-нибудь попробовать. Как можно ближе к земле активировать глайдер. Просто по приколу.
Witness the power of Gurwa, body and time to act.
Так.
Incinerate! Boom! Time for your arraignment! Motion to compel!
Ага. Все, кажется, я поймал ритм.
Incinerate!
Ау!
Not good.
Электрификация населения.
Absorption test. Motion to compel.
Проходит.
Ring cutter. Body and mind.
Так, тело и разум. Да, вот так неплохо. Когда... Да, отлично. Нормально. Жить можно. Жить можно. Это немножко лишнее, но она единственная прокачанная пока что. Поэтому придется с ней немножко потерпеться. Единственное... Ну хотя, может быть, Кая тоже. Ледяной тоже неплохо. Ну, Цицу мощный хил. У Синцу тоже достаточно... Тоже есть хил. И вот надо изучить. Потестить побольше, как он работает. Но... Может быть, нам и не нужна будет Цица, если он у нас хороший будет. Подхилать Синцу. В конце концов, сколько уж этого хила нужно. Это способно выхилить очень сильно. И очень быстро. Так, ну что? Испытание.
No, my sword. Motion to compel.
Так, накопили кучу времени. И можем лететь. Спокойно. Вот я дурачина. Прилетели. Прилетели. Окей. Хорошо. Прилетели так прилетели. Концу еще и умер. Ну, спасибо. Можно его чуть-чуть подхилять. Так. Отлично. Так, полная стамина. Хорошо. Главное не упасть самим. Было бы обидно, да? Было бы очень обидно упасть от своего же взрыва. Но, к счастью, этого не произошло. Что говорит нам о том, что мы очень хороши. Просто восхитительно, на самом-то деле. Итак. Это мишена сделана. Получим награду, по-моему, еще экспедиции закончились. Да, экспедиции закончились. Отлично. О, да, давайте все ресурсы сюда. Найс. Так, поклеиваем всякие штуки. Отлично. Ключик 4 на 4 еще. Еще нормально. Так. Рекомендуемый уровень для следующей части квестов. Уровень ни много ни мало 47. Таким уровнем похвастаться могут немногие в наших рядах. Поэтому надо пытаться это как-то... эту проблему как-то решить. Ну, на самом деле понятно, как ее решить. Вот так. Хотя бы частично. Нужно еще на сенцу артефакты апнуть. И думаю, можно будет идти. Ну, его главное... надо будет его еще один раз ассенднуть, потому что 37 это слишком мало. Как неудивительно. Так. Ну что ты нам расскажешь? Что покажешь? Где она? Где она? Так. Ну, в целом неплохо.
Rain outlines your fate.
Так.
Stand clear. Witness the power of Gua.
Так.
Know my sword.
Опа.
Time to act. Motion to compel.
И добили. Эти дураки подключились. Ну, спасибо. Теперь гео слайма. Ну, это не так страшно. Это не так страшно. В принципе, мы с ними умеем справляться. Так. Ауч. Не успели. Так. Оба. Ну, теперь берегись. Все-таки не хватает кого-то с двуручкой. Идеальный в моем сетапе была бы Сая, но... Хотя если у Сенцу сейчас... Блин, я все еще забыл посмотреть, насколько эффективен хил у Сенцу. Если Сенцу будет достаточно хотя бы, то... можно будет плюнуть на хил отдельный. И попробовать... только им. Взять кого-нибудь с дурочкой. Хотя у меня, конечно, никто не вкачанный, и это опять надо будет качать. Ох уж эта прокачка. Возможно, не сегодня. Возможно, это сделаю между стримами. Не вечно же тут вкачивать, правильно? Так, а то мы так никогда квест не сделаем, черт возьми. Надо уже двигаться дальше. Хотя бы чайник получить. Я как понимаю, он следующий. Он был бы крайне полезен. И интересен, но... Ох.
No, my sword. A minor setback. Absorption test. Animal test 60.
Так.
Let me weave you a verse. Incinerate.
Так.
Stand clear. Body and mind. Brain outline.
Так.
Motion to compel. Time to act.
Это мы хорошо.
Incinerate.
Было больно.
Absorption test.
Так.
Faster. But my defense will witness the power of
Так, когда меч ломается ему... Ага. Ага. Ну... Понятно. Окей. Еще чуть-чуть. Еще один цветочек. И... можно будет пойти покачать и попробовать пойти выполнить квест.
Absorption test.
Так.
Brain outlines your animal test 6301.
Ау. А ты типа ни при чем, да? Ты тут просто так стоишь. Ну ладно, хорошо. Просто так, так просто так. Ну тебя просто так игрок.
Remarkable condition.
Замечательно. А еще один, еще один. Еще чуть-чуть. Еще чуть-чуть. О, светильщик. У нас, по-моему, ключей нет. По-моему, ключи я еще не... Да, блин. Это отвратительно. Очень отвратительно. Так. Да, отлично. Выпарайз идет неплохо. Намного лучше, чем мел, когда мы убирали. Так. Оп. Дуй, дуй, дуй. А ты умеешь дуть? Дуем. Бэм. Так. Ура. Ну, напряжно, но не так уж плохо, как я думал. Оказалось, это будет больнее. Намного больнее. А оно в целом неплохо вышло. Я считаю, что вот этих ребят мы тоже можем сейчас взять и потягаться с ними. Так, вот вы меня бесите. Да. Вот ты меня очень бесит. Уф. Ну ничего, изи. Достаточно изи. Начинает получаться. Хорошо. Так, у нас есть... Есть чем открыть. О, у нас для чайника есть ивентовые леры, да. Нет, у нас нечем открывать. Хорошо, отлично. Одной проблемы меньше. О, неоткрытая точка быстрого путешествия. Надо исправиться. Почему я до нее не дошел, не знаю. Возможно, мне стало влом сюда идти. Вполне возможно. Тут полно всего. Интересно. Куча сундуков прямо рядом. Прям хорошо. Да, она была единственная в этом районе, которая еще не открыта. Ладно. Хорошо. Так, что у нас там по персонажам? Да, ну, как видите, достаточно бедны на опыт. И это плохо. Почем тебя ассендить? О, мы тебя можем ассендить прямо сейчас. Больше такие нитские штуки. Ну, неплохо. Подойдет. И продолжить тебя левелапать. Потому что ты, друг мой, нам нужен. И нужен нам достаточно сильно. Ты плохой его порез даешь. Весьма неплохо. Ага, это не редиска. Уф. Это не редиска. Это репа. Наверное, вот такие чуваки были в сказке репа. Иначе как еще объяснить то, что там происходило? Горячо. Больше слизи. Мама, что у нас на обед? Слизь. От нее пар идет. Она была под этим пайра, а потом пошла в водичку и пар пошел. Пш. Очень классно. Уть! Что ж прям на нас-то, а? Ну, Мазила. Так. Ох, вот вы... Висячие, ребята. Так. Ага, отлично. Так, теперь тебя.
Absorption test.
Отлично. Так, окей.
Motion to compel.
Они самые бесячие. Поэтому станет очень больно станлочит. Этот-то чувачок, он достаточно... Сам по себе он достаточно бесполезный. Когда он с друзьями, вот тогда начинается веселье. Так, замечательно. Ага, а это открывается... Нет, это все еще рядом. Хорошо. Рядом так рядом. Один раз я фармил, и мне открылась эта жила. Что-то черти где. Вот на том дальнем острове, до которого я пока не знаю, как добраться, и не очень хочется выяснять самостоятельно. Так, кто тут? А, тут только что были. Я просто в другую сторону пошел. Хорошо, хорошо, добежим. Осмотримся тут. Ой, это чушь. Это чепушило. Больно бьет. Не нравится он мне. Что сундук? Блин, сундуки на самом деле надо открывать. Че я это игнорирую? Не падай! Уф.
Rain outlines your fate. No, my sword. Incinerate.
Так. Изи.
Chests appearing out of thin air? This needs research.
Да, я вот туплю, а сундучки-то надо открывать. Ой, да ладно вам. Ребята. Пора. Так, ледяной. Ну, слизни это не проблема. Слизни это так по мелочи. Ну и вот.
We can definitely write this off as incidental gains.
Да, это точно. А! Так. Отдыхай, отдыхай. Так, ну что, доплывем. О, рыбку поймал. Руками. Голыми руками ловим рыбку. Красава. Может быть, тут наверху что-нибудь есть? Или нужно через стенку? Если нужно через стенку, то... Это не такая уж и большая проблема, наверное. Наверное. Это может быть проблема. Черт возьми. У меня нет достоверных сведений о возможности... вот сюда, да. Способности пробивать через стенку. Может быть, сзади что-нибудь есть интересное? Нет, нет, нет. Нет. Хорошо, ладно. Тогда... Кто мне второй пати? А, с Бейду. Не, нам нужно всего лишь взять Нингуан.
Don't disappoint me.
Не, так не работает, да?
Give up.
Ха! Работает.
keen eye.
Какие мы красавчики. Напазлили тут. Замечательно. Горд собой. Горд собой. Достижение настоящих игроков. Так. Ладно, пока что так.
I will.
Барбара. Лист. Но на самом деле Цица неплохо мечом дамажит. Очень неплохо. Это тоже как одна из ее сторон. О, те два чувака. Их часто вспоминают. Два Хиручарла на мосту. Очень мило сидят. Смотреть на них. Какие хорошие. Сидят, чилят. Тупо чилят с пацанами. Так. Ух! О!
Motion to compel. Time for your arraignment. Let me read you a verse. Rain outlines your fate.
Так.
The room. Absorption test. Keep within the wall. Orders given. Orders received. Go.
Так.
No, my sword. Motion to compel. Animal test 6308. Ring cutter. Incinerate. Visible evidence.
Так. Вообще замечательно.
Rain outlines your fate.
Хороший сетап. Нормально. Нормально разносим, товарищи. Не на изичах, но нормально. Это уже чего-то стоит. Так. Просто все на него спускаются, да. На дружочка. Ну хорошо, хотя бы 45-й. Хотя бы 45-й. Хороший тоже 45-й. И НФ 50-го. Лусенцу, наверное, можно еще. Таланты левелапнуть, да. Так. Вот это очень неплохо. Да. Ульта. Так. Роскошный сундук. Хорошо, хорошо.
Absorption test. Stand clear. Motion to compel. Animal
Согласен.
Witness the power of Gwa.
То, что мы можем постоянно
Rise.
наносить запарайс даже нормальными, просто нормальными атаками на НФ, это очень сильно, мне кажется. Бешеная ульта
Faster. Okay,
при
fast.
правильном применении. Так. Давай подчиляемся. Все, разобрали. Не без заминки, но разобрали. Получаем роскошный сундук. Роскошно.
Let's appraise the
Ричард
value on this.
Сапогов. Капуста. Птичка. Нич. Так. Забыл твитнуть. Не знаю, принесет ли это мне что-нибудь, но. Forgot to tweet. Forgot to tweet.
Breathe. 3,
Forgot
4,
to
and
read.
let's go somewhere cooler.
Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Сюда. Blossom of Revelation. Где он? Вот здесь. Навигейт. Веди меня, олень, в свою страну оленью. Не копирайтили вы меня за это? Я надеюсь, что это недостаточно было для клейма. Но если вдруг, то знаете, что это все из этой песни. Хотя я даже не хотел бы по-хорошему.
Motion to compel.
Нормально. Так. Там наверху катаются очень неприличные, очень неприятные тетя существа. Да, вот ты. Я про тебя говорю. Правильно понял. Так, так. Давай. О, нормально. Вот, ты... Соник, блин. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
Absorption test. Boom boom.
Так. Ой. Ну давай, дурачина уже. Катись сюда. Ну куда ты убежал-то?
Time to act. No, my sword.
О. Так, щиток. Не любишь водичку, не любишь водичку?
Motion to compel.
А мы любим.
Animal test 6308.
Вот зря ты не любишь водичку.
Chests appearing out of thin air? This needs research.
Так, отлично. И где же? Где-то тут, где-то тут, где-то там. О, эти штуки, я все еще не понимаю, что это такое. Да где ты? Вот он. Хорошо. Поехали. О!
Stand clear.
Witness the power.
Incinerate.
Отлично. Красава.
Rain outlines your fate.
Синцу красава.
Absorption test.
И билд с ним тоже красава. Так.
Wheel of life.
Так.
Sacred name.
Хорошее место, чтобы применить.
Ring cutter.
Motion to compel. Inadmissible evidence.
Так.
Incinerate. Animal test 64.
No, my sword.
Так. Оп, оп, оп. Бум. Все, все, давай. Ура! Ура-ра-ра-ра. Замечательно. Далеко? Нет, недалеко. Так. Ну, у нас все очень хорошо идет. Мне очень нравится этот сетап. Надо будет сейчас вернуться, дофармить, вернуться в город. Попробовать покачать артефакты для синцу. А так, очень и очень неплохо. Очень и очень неплохо. Тут... Я надеюсь, ты не рядом с огненной лозой? Нет, не рядом. Рядует. Рядует. И... О! Ну, с вами у нас разговор короткий. Ребята.
Stand clear. Motion to compel. Time for your arraignment.
Rain outlines your fate.
Animal test 6308.
Так, оверлоднули.
Let me read you a verse.
И теперь... Добиваем. Замечательно. Очень хорошо. Восхитительно.
Incinerate.
No, my sword.
Да. Уф. Отлично. Так. На самом деле нам бы... Сколько у нас там? 123. До штуки в батл пассе нам не хватает буквально там 3 смолы, да, потратить? Может быть, это хороший шанс. Может быть, это хороший шанс. Еще и батл пассную штучку сделать. We gotta do something with the... I think this will really be the last. We need only to use only 3 more resin to tick the freaking the notes in the battle pass thingamabob. And yeah, should be it for the leveling and grinding. Then we will return to the city to Leo Harbor, and we will try to we will level up the artifacts on Shinsu, and after that we will attempt the next step in the Archon quests. Oh, that's relatively easy.
Absorption test.
Okay.
Body and mind.
Stand clear.
Okay. Abyss Mage, yes, Abyss Mage, indeed.
Absorption test.
Okay, Abyss Mage.
Rain outlines your face.
Not as annoying as his little friends, but they're easy to deal with. Okay, and this, and that, and this, and that, and this, and that. Nice. Okay. We can check out this. I cannot speak, for the love of God. Okay. Let's get back to the city. Try to level up the artifacts. Here, you. Get over here. Enhance. Yeah, enhance. Yes, enhance. 1-star crap. Enhance. Bam. Nothing to it. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, we hey, we get more 1-star stuff. Okay, +2, +3, 5. Okay. That's good enough. It's good. This thing. Right, let's do this. Enhance. Zoom and enhance. Right? Not bad. Next, this one. Okay, HP. HP is good. +5. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oops. This is not good. Ох, трехзвездочные штуки. Их нужно немного будет, но... Да, лишнего бы не. Сегодня нужно внимательно. Так. Достаточно одной. Хорошо. На башке у тебя что? Окей. Так, эти все слишком хороши. Еще бандану можно впендюрить. Вот эти часы. Кувшин доктора. Шапку доктора. Слишком мало всего, да? Да. Ну ладно, сойдет. Достаточно пока что. Да, блин. Ну что, попробуем? А что у нас по еде? Может быть, нам что-нибудь приготовить? Так, водички, сопротивления. Крит 12. Атака на 300. Мы не сможем приготовить эти супер крутые штуки, которым нас научила Сянлин. Они достаточно классные. Что нам... О, есть еще этот адептовский суп. Для него нужно очень много всего. Креветок у нас нет. Я, кстати, не знаю, где брать креветки. Так, да, вот эти конвертики. Мы можем их приготовить, и это замечательно. Уф. Хорошо, до парочки будет пока что достаточно. Так, стамина. Курочка. Курочки надо приготовить солидно. Потому что нам, возможно, потребуется такого рода подхил. Так, остальное вроде бы... Ну ладно, так. Чуть-чуть подготовились, чуть-чуть подбафались. Супер суп. Пока мы не... Пока не... Ну, а что у тебя есть? А что у тебя есть? Ну-ка. Креветки у него есть. Ну, креветок мы можем на самом деле купить. Хорошо. На будущее. Так, еще попроцессить ингредиенты, да? Можно. Что там нужно на него? Крабы, мацутаки и ветчина. Ветчины мы можем наделать. Надолго. Крабов у нас нет. Ну, только крабов, наверное, осталось, да? Ну ладно, крабов надо ловить. Крабов мы еще поймаем. Весель валяется. Пьёс. Так. Пьеса попердолила. Ух. Ох, что странная природа польских мемов. Наверное, то, что они частично понятны. От них всегда пар идет. Кажется. Смотреть против солнца, когда поднимались. У нее аура из конька. Очень смешно. $47. Recommended party level. Ну что, попробуем? Попробуем? Давайте попробуем. Let's try this. Yes, this party. This.
Wow, this is the golden house? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of mora. This is where all of Tibet's mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here.
Да, Паймон, тебе повезло.
Take any. We can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora. It's like a dream come true.
Лучше сначала проверим.
Back to
Да.
business.
То, зачем мы пришли.
Quiet. Too quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here?
Ох, кто-то ворвался уже до нас сюда. Кто-то неотразимый.
Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
Так. И что же?
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself.
Сразу было понятно, что ему нельзя доверять.
But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
Oh, dude. Just get lost. I know we can trust you.
Although I'm
Yeah, just
deeply
in
grateful
time.
to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location. Don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort?
Can't stop me now.
Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled.
Rich, handsome bastard.
She will get that which she desires.
Dude, we are here. So, not today, Tsaritsa. Not today.
I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The
Oh,
time
you
for
think
discussion
so?
and diplomacy
You think
has already
so?
passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do it either way. We now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you.
Fight!
The battle.
Yeah, the battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes...
You could say that.
Yeah.
When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong
Zadira.
opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen in...
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams.
You could never
But
defeat
hey,
me.
try to relish
Says
the fight
someone
anyway, because if you ask me, without that,
seconds
what
before
else
being
is there?
defeated. Okay, let's prepare. And I'm warming up. Okay.
Fighting talk, I love it.
Fuck
Now
you.
let's-
Oh, fuck you.
This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Хорош.
Orders given. Orders received.
Хорош.
Full
Rise.
timing.
Хорош.
How are you coming?
Time to
Очень
act.
хорош.
Witness the power of...
Woo!
Passable effort.
Motion to compel.
Try this.
No, my sword.
Passable effort. So quick to flee.
We gotta eat. We gotta eat. We gotta eat.
You've made some progress. Clear shot.
Keep with them along.
Oh,
Wheel of life. Faster.
how annoying are you, huh?
You missed a spot.
Animal test 6308.
Incinerate.
You're wide open. Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more seriously. Good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out.
Changing the elements,
Brace
huh?
yourself. This is
Changing
about
the
to get
element.
tough. Now, show me what
Oh,
you can
you
do against the might of a
sly
harbinger.
fuck.
Yikes.
Oh,
Ring cutter.
Gotcha.
woo.
Enhanced animal module 75. Absorption test.
This.
Ooh. Ow. Oh, you.
Rain outlines your head.
Animal test 6308.
Ah. Ooh, she's alive. She's alive. Yenfei is alive. Ooh. That was easier than I thought. Is there more?
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about
that
as
it?
far as you'll get.
Ooh, who's that? A new face.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Oh, you. Oh no, we didn't. What's going on? Oh, is that the third phase? Oh, shit. Oh, wow. That's Super Sentai thing right now. I didn't know we're... Woo! Oh, so dramatic. Oh. Now that's where the real fight begins. Or do we get to fight him? Oh, I think we do. Oh, I think we do. Tokusatsu. Yeah. Use everything. Use freaking everything.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply
Oh,
move faster?
you're fast. You're very fast indeed.
Gold mouse to me on purpose.
Ooh. Ooh.
Hand the Gnosis over now. Don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it.
Friend of the flame, know my sword. Body and let me weave you a verb.
Ooh, double element. Wow. He's like a whole party in one person, huh? Okay, but I think we can take him on. Woo! Woo! That's really a little closer than I would like.
Okay, faster. Go.
Oof. 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 That's rough. Oh, that's rough. Oh, he's good. Oh, that's rough.
Wow.
Oh, that's rough.
Instead of
Oh no!
it's
Didn't mean to do that. No, 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 no.
Rain outlines your fate.
Guys, opening box of Adepti tricks.
Okay. Taking Tsitsi here was ooh,
But my defense was watertight.
was a very good call, but wasn't for long. Oof. That's a very rough fight.
Ring cutter.
That's a very rough fight.
Stand clear.
Nice. Oh well. Faster, faster, faster. Okay. Good, 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 good. We're not done yet. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, we did it. Nice. Saying you say now, huh? Huh?
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off.
Yeah, you better cool off, dude.
It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis.
Yeah, you dumb idiot.
You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be?
Well, I am returning back to normal, dude. Back to normal I go.
You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Yeah, noble, badass antagonist. Yeah,
Pretty
no,
sure that's
nice,
not the
nice.
normal way to make friends.
Anti-hero, I believe.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with.
Perhaps.
In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth
You are
is,
annoying.
the world
I don't
belongs
like
to
it.
those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
Oh wow, that's a bold
Osiel,
statement.
Overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
Oh, you're
The Archon War ended 2,000
crazy,
years
dude.
ago.
But
How
yeah,
could an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
И что, он правда это сделает? И что, у него правда так получится? Ого.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Ooh.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
Ого, полетел. Ого. Ничего себе, вот это пепелац. Нормально.
Paimon's exhausted. If we
Ага,
hadn't
теперь
happened
еще
to see
с
the gate chamber
Гидрой
flying
биться.
over just as we came out of the
Гидра.
Golden House, we really
Ладно.
wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the overlord of the vortex still in the sea?
What
Oh!
are you doing here?
Ooh, look who's here. Ха-ха-ха. Смотрите, кто пришел. Сяо.
Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing
Да,
on the
вообще,
gate
в принципе,
chamber?
адепты.
Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this overlord of the vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy. Even from...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle.
О, пошла это королевская воля. Нормально.
Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon war was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary.
Ранец.
So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? But all of you were supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qi-Sing did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take
Oh, you're
one,
so
but a
arrogant.
little
Такая
tinkering
заносчивая.
to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Ух,
Yep.
ух, хороша. Ух, красава. Ух. О, какие у него ноготочки, эти коготочки. В перчатках. О, в виде журавлей эти баллисты. А вот и Фатуи.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Glacial Ballista!
Да, в бой! Накостыляем! Ух, синематик.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith,
Отлично.
with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Да изи. Сейчас покажем вам все.
Stand clear. Absorption test.
Let's move.
49. Ага, в той стороне. Ох, стамина кончается. Ох, стамина кончилась.
Stand clear. Incinerate.
Слава богу, они достаточно тупые для компьютерных врагов.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Ага. Ау. Спасибо, что предупредил. О, теперь еще и падает сверху всякое клювно. Замечательно. Восхитительно.
Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Animal test 63. Keep within the law. Rise. The ancient gods attack
Ого.
again. There are so many between too. We can't look.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is depthful energy. That light from your body. It's like that time in Julian Cars. Wow, it's Madame Pink's shockwave. This granny's really strong.
А, то есть нам пауэрап дали. Очень весело.
Motion to compel.
Так, дали пауэрап. С пауэрапом весело.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight.
О,
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
уф, все бафы.
Going too fast.
Очень быстро. И действительно быстро. Так. Ну что? Еще враги? А, зал.
Giant, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Evidence. Look at me. Just nuts.
Ух, мощно. Очень мощные пауэрапы нам дали. Очень хорошие пауэрапы.
Motion to compel.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak. In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
О, 1,5 минуты. Я даже не заметил, что это с таймером.
Incinerate. Breath of the flame.
Так.
Absorption test. Boom.
Так.
Stand clear.
Замечательно.
Absorption test. Enhanced animal module 75. Inadmissible evidence.
Так. Ох. Ох.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning.
Fight on, comrades. Once we finish this
Да,
level, the
бьемся.
Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Так. Уф. Катсцена. Катсцена.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
У-ху-ху! Гигабласт! Тенгентоппа Гурен Лаган!
It's working. We just need to keep this up.
Легче сказать. Омега. А, оказывается, с нами еще и миллилет были. Ха. Как-то незаметно. Воу-воу-воу. Красавец. Красавчик, держи меня крепче. Hold me tight.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Аниме-удар. Это не создаст цунами, которое и так уничтожит Лию, нет? Не, что-то так немножко волнами так это повозило. Никакого охрененного цунами. Вот. Ну ладно, окей. Лол. Казалось бы, такая байда упала в море, взорвалась. Должно было быть цунами, но нет.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations.
Businesswoman to an end. Насквозь businesswoman. Расчетливо так. Держит эмоции.
Thank you all for hearing me out.
Страшная
We
женщина,
know
страшная
very well
женщина.
why the Adepti came here today.
Грозная.
But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat.
Ну, да.
But that does
Контракт
not
истек.
mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
Ooh.
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream,
Козырь в
I
рукаве.
yearn to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the
Это
past
долго, эта
generations
сцена.
of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Ну, такое себе, да, защита получается.
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Ну, да.
Each of the
так
seven
мило.
nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
Да, типа, сходите в город, ребята, вы там в деревне засиделись.
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Ну вот, видите, чуваки? Видите? Видите? Давай, девочка.
Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you
Время для
frightened,
праздника.
dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that
That's
make
so
the
cute.
harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Because we are Adepti.
Okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus.
Засранец, а? Вот засранец. Расстроила девчонку. Что ты? Чё ты, чувак? Остынь, а?
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Уф.
Seeing
Красиво.
the port around us now, it is
Красиво
hard
сказала.
not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Да, они пытаются...
Let us return now.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation.
Ну вот да, да, типа... Ходите там, не знаю, в магаз иногда, там, в кафехе там.
One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Такие все. Ну, они
Since we
бессмертные,
Adepti have
богоподобные товарищи.
consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
Недоверчивый.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Да, если что...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
Да.
Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex
Да.
Lapis never showed up.
Он тут сказал свои несколько раз, ну вот буквально в течение последних получаса, так что можешь И спас нас, крепко обняв нас и утащив из падения в бездну. Так что можешь потом посмотреть немножко, чуть-чуть рядом с этим моментом. Это вообще было очень красиво.
Oh, and speaking of that,
Но он
don't
уже
we
ушел.
still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death too?
Так, еще...
Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
О, нормально. Уф. Уф. Да, надо посмотреть, обязательно посмотреть. Схватил нас так прям, ух. Сердечко ёкнуло. И спас. И сказал, хм. У него вообще было не очень много разнообразных диалоговых опций. Кстати, да, а мы же... Нет, New Star Approach сейчас все еще идет. Так что нам нужно завершить все дела в Люе, судя по всему. Прежде чем мы получим чайник и прочие ништяки, которые ограничены сейчас этим уровнем. Ну хорошо, поищем Жанли. Куда же он денется с подводной лодки? Да, чел не очень любит говорить, да. Очень выразительно. Почти как Геральт. Сяо это просто местный Геральт, да. Кто тогда Лютик вопрос?
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a we had better go and make sure that everything...
Тема Шрека, да. Опять. Очень подозрительно это все. Не грохнули бы его? Эти фатуи. Не то чтобы очень приятные люди. Не знаю, зачем он в банк пошел. Может, денег занять? Надя, Надюха, скажи. Друг по переписке. Ха. О, днем и ночью. О, очень мило. Они переписываются. Она стоит до зори ночи, он стоит до зори днем. Она отправляла письмо брату, но чувак подумал, что она отправила письмо ему и стал отвечать на ее письма. Очень мило. Пойдем в банк. Это не относилось к сюжету.
You call this cooperation between harbingers. Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
no, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Да, права
Oh,
Паймон.
now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
Поворот.
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
Опа. Гносис.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio?
Да,
No,
понятно.
wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Ох.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Lyric goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Да.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Ты все это подстроил?
Perhaps it's best that I explain.
Тебе стало скучно, дед. Вот тебе скучно стало, да? Развлечение тебе. Да, давай-ка я мертвым прикинусь. Внуки поди не распознают, да? Пранк, внуки пранк. Подождите, вы в гроб меня не закатывайте, только, пожалуйста.
As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and at the end of until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties.
Просто настолько стар, что хочешь умереть. Но сложно тебя в этом винить.
I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to
Просто
consider
устал.
relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
Вот это просто big brain strats, чувак.
Indeed I was. The gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of
Да,
its
хочет на
deity.
пенсию. Реально. На дачу капусту выращивать.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance.
Ну, хорошо
Owing to their
получилось,
years
да,
of
согласен.
seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of
Зрелищно,
restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand.
Так хорошо
the hearts of the
получилось
people.
вообще. Это ты хорошо придумал, я даже сразу и не понял.
Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Переиграли, как дешевку.
That doesn't sound
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared
Не,
that
ну,
it was too soon for them to
местное
take over,
самоуправление
and it
взяло
was
на
also
себя
that which I
ответственность.
longed for the
Ух,
most.
как меня запульнуло.
As such,
Слишком темно в комнате,
This
да?
is the best parting
Да.
gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Жongli, он как федеральные власти, а это... Ох, да.
Hey, what about me?
И
Doesn't
сила
anyone feel the
районной
least bit of remorse
администрации.
for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this.
Да, ты
Wreaking
вообще...
havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Все, типа, это арка трансформации Лiyue. И теперь она вкачанный альфа-город.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may,
Да, нас обдурили
you've come out of this as the
обоих.
hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience
Заполярный.
with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa.
Заполярный
Come,
Пэлас.
child.
Заполярный. Ух. Мы поедем, мы помчимся.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a
Что же
good
ты
trade
получишь
for
мне
Gnosis.
за...
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts.
Whoa.
As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Можно еще раз поговорить?
Absorb so much So Zhongli, what sort of contract did you sign with the Cryo Archon? Paimon...
One of the clauses of our contract was not to divulge any of its contents.
Понятно. Ладно, спасибо. Ты нам ничего не скажешь интересного. Понятно. Вот мы все в банке, чё? Деньжат не завалялось? Нет? Нигде кассу? Нет. Не забрать? Так. Хо-хо-хо! Хо-хо-хо! Хе-хе-хе! Кассу забрать. Нормально. Не с пустыми руками ушли, хорошо. Я не успел прочитать.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Да. Надо посмотреть, что же мы приготовили-то. Чё мы там? Для чего мы там так много собирали всяких мелочей там с архонтами? Это... О.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person?
Да.
You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the street. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high end.
Fatui? They certainly... Shh.
Ну да, теперь Чайлду не очень... Не очень будут рады в Лио.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person be...
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us.
Да.
Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement.
Цивилизованные
Let's hear
граждане.
what the ministry...
Да, но это не наше, там, не нашего ума дело, поэтому не будем гадать. Это неправильно. Это очень завидная сознательность.
The Chi Sing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But, did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems...
Интересно, да, они вывернулись очень любопытно. Очень милая компания.
Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Блин. Все от нас ждут. Твое сердечко. Ну нет, мы не будем тебя забирать.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Кстати, один из редких случаев, когда действительно говорит герой. Ладно.
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
Мудро.
Why you? Were you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless?
Раскусил он нас.
If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that in private.
Oh.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite? There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Нет, нет, все хорошо сделано. Все в порядке. Зhongli.
Hey, Zhongli!
Дед с красивым мейкапом.
Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Дай деду отдохнуть.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Деньги ты взял с собой?
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside the Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
Потому что, ну...
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do.
Ну, правильно, да.
When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to.
Это было, да, одна из возможных причин.
But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people.
Только живя среди них.
I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you.
Да,
that
спасибо
is
тебе.
true.
Было круто.
But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Так.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity.
Бог вечности.
It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Что там с Чайлдом-то?
About that. Before the Chising made their announcement, we listened to a lot of...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Chising from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui.
Понятно, ну да, Нингуан это на руку, она так
Those
это...
poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse,
божественным испытанием,
I will
которое
never
ты
know.
провалил, якобы, да.
That said, the reason why the
Причем
Chising were so
придумал, да,
eager to
интересно.
resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted
да.
as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Послал галлюцинации, чтобы нормально все было у чуваков, у братишек.
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Leo Chising don't want to face that
Глава
truth,
Китин.
then what
Глава
future
Китин.
is there? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this.
Ну,
Now,
да.
though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Chising's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just going to disappear?
Переименуете монету или нет?
Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo Archon's power.
Интересно. То есть это буквально божественные монеты, ничего себе. То есть они их не из золота печатали, а ну... Вау.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing to debate.
Да, она теперь Чисень теперь во главе, и пусть они разгребают это все.
Did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common sense idea.
Которую ты не придумал.
It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time.
Блин.
Was there anything else you wish to know?
Ну, теперь ему действительно только на пенсию рассчитывать. Накоплений-то нет.
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
Знает, что предвидит. Есть! Завершили квест. Найс.
And if there's one dish that fits the bill, it's blackback perch stew.
Чайник.
Come on, let's pay a visit to One-Min Restaurant.
О, Жанли.
All right then.
Стоишь тут?
Was there anything else? Well then.
Как красиво. Очень красивая площадь перед праздником. Найс. Так, я хочу получить чайник, и можно будет, наверное, закруглиться на сегодня после этого. Что там? Что там произошло? Да. 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 Ой, Moonlight Merriment мне доступен. Ох, сколько всего мне открылось теперь. Ох. Красота, красота. Там пинг. Какой у меня пинг? Ой, что-то просадка по битрейту прошла, когда я спросил про мадам пинг. Очень смешно.
Children, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh,
Да, еще такой бабуль.
No. You've done so
Народный
much for
сходить.
Liyue Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more.
Тоже хочешь умереть?
In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even.
Да, мы скромненькие.
But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds.
О, Паймон,
That
спасибо.
simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you.
Да, то есть у нас... Там что, у них на 2 года вперед расписаны планы по контенту? Это много.
Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities
Всего лишь 3
atrophy.
нации из 7, 4, и еще предположительно еще одна глава про Селестию.
Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace
То есть
creation
они
is
могут
the
и без
ability to
помощи
create a
Архонта их
small,
создавать.
autonomous
Прикольно.
pocket world. The
Плохо.
teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Да.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrive. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies. And if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there.
Что-то копатель онлайн? О, господи.
But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today.
Ну, теперь это шиммер мад. Теперь это блестящая грязь, а
Even
не
more
почва.
difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Радиоактивные материалы? Понятно, все понятно. Спасибо, урановые ломы. В ртуть бросать. И кто же этот?
Well, since you're an adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an adeptus too, right?
Наверное.
Yes, I suppose she does count as an adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many adepti
Да,
in
кстати,
Liyue
сколько их
Hub?
вообще?
We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
Ну, на самом деле, ну, типа, построить целый город, свернуть город, да, это, типа, ну, божественные вещи, да, но не двух человек, наверное, это, ну, не двух адептов, наверное, это потребовало.
I'm back, Granny.
О!
Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Да, действительно, я не думаю, что мы встречались только, кроме последних
Allow
2
me
часов.
to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't?
Привет.
Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's
нее
most
сережки или
wanted
такие
after the
штуки?
Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally
много
defeating
знаешь.
an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chising. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner.
Да, это правда, это правда. Какие у нее штуки интересные. Вот эти белые интересные
If we
штуки.
had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you.
Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
Юрисконсульт.
Oh,
Нормально.
yes. Here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
Очень мило.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand.
Торопыга
I do
такая.
not think these two
Деловая.
are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway.
А,
He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom.
о.
They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect
Свалили
Leo
внучку на
Harbor
бабулю,
and
ну, классика,
What do you
да.
mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really Yenfei. Are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
Да.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
О, такая милая.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him.
Бум. Удобно,
Crossel.
когда книжка такая.
A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragd.
go.
You want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only
Хорошо,
risk placing
ладно.
yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow,
Доверяю тебе в
an
этом.
Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure.
Да. Разные вещи мы с адептами уже поделали, да.
We be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Так, ну что? Кроссл. 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 Мы вполне себе с ней идем. Благодаря тому, что она есть у меня и в основной команде. Ну вот, наконец, мы и встретились в сюжете. Класс. Хорошка. Нравится. Приятная собеседница.
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good.
All thanks to your advice, Miss
Цензурено,
Yanfei.
чтобы не нашли.
What brings you here tonight?
Голос изменен.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have any interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhiqiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before renting them to her.
Вот, наконец-то. Но лучше бы мы твое лицо, конечно, не видели, потому что...
The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question,
Очень схематично.
she must compensate me for its full original
Так было
value.
даже интереснее.
In return, I included a clause that guarantees the smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off.
Ну, что ж, пойдем. Что мы будем с этим делать? Ковырнем? В заколах? Тихую. Или, быть может, нам придется доказывать, что они не настоящие, чтобы таким образом выкупить их. Сейчас узнаем, сейчас узнаем. Любопытно. Так. Простите, а где вход? А, вот это вход. Нет? Нет. О, сундук.
Huh. Let's appraise the value on this.
А, наверху. Да, наверху. Отлично. Потеряла.
Oh, whatever
Что
shall I
такое?
do?
Что такое грустное?
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can...
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them
Да.
to you right now. I've lost them.
Бедолага.
I don't know how it could have happened.
Десятикратная
I always kept them
цена.
right by my side, and
Уф.
I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to
нужно
mingle and discuss prices. That's what the
Произвести
hairpins
впечатление.
were for, well, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really?
Да.
I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Не получали, не знаю, ничего не знаю, не получали. Надо Катерину спросить.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr. Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Jichao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a way.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Jichao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are large.
Драматическая
How
пауза.
exactly will we be able to find out if the
Нравится.
Jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any
Клёвый
need to
татуировка на
check
боках.
whether the Jadeite is genuine, would there?
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is,
Да,
however
это
much it
слишком.
is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue and...
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins.
Ну-ка.
So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch? No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Что-то придумала. Ну-ка.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jichao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust
tow.
you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract.
Mora! Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus Jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again... It was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
Alright, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Miss...
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Oof.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
О. Где же это? Так. Что же ты придумала, Ян Фэй? Есть у меня подозрение, что мы пытаемся доказать, что они не настоящие, но вопрос, на самом деле ли они не настоящие, или... Может быть, он, конечно, и зажопил себе настоящий этот и делал фальшивое. Интересно, интересно.
Miss Yunfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions.
Спасибо, Ян Фэй. Спасибо. Thankless time consuming errands, да. Неблагодарное занятие, да. Приключенческое.
I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
Зажопил.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Нужны доказательства.
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone.
О, что-то мерцает.
After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing.
Да.
Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
Если мне платили каждый раз, когда я думаю о контракте.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand.
Да, действительно, договор.
Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
Да,
no problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over
Очень похоже
here.
на правду.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read
Фикс
through.
прайс, неплохо.
Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case,
Да.
hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Детектив.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ah, I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore work done at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
О, как он удобно рядышком. Прям за углом.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yunfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Забавный. Ну, куда ты лезешь? Ну-ка. Не выглядит.
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, So, did you find anything?
Не, ничего
really
нет.
are different. But wait, how come Jinchao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Да.
These two stones actually look
Ножи.
very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them.
Да.
Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yenfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus Jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a
Явное
record of the job
показание.
with me, in fact. Here, it says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus Jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further
Uncut.
questions. But could I borrow the processing record and the stone shavings?
Простите.
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Так изящно.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for...
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
Да.
With this
Спасибо
hard
за ваше
evidence
время.
to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Sinxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was
Знает
quick.
всех в этом городе.
How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, but the amendments
Да.
made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that
Ну,
it's
да.
hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well,
принципе, этим они
that's no
занимаются
obstacle because
настоящие.
I've memorized all the legal codices.
Мощно.
You memorized them?
Вот это впечатляет.
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Sinxi.
Ух. Хороший. Так. Куда же мы идем? Мы идем обратно. А, магазин ювелир, Каша. Господи. Она же ведь там. Да, ювелирка, в которой мы покупаем всякие сувенирки и прочие штуки. Прикольно, прикольно.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossell? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called smaragdus jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Oh.
Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
Да, если приходит
I
кто-то
believe we
и...
have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that smaragdus jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Класс. Ну пойдем, заклинатель змей. Поговорим с тобой. У нас даже твоя воспитанница с собой. Ну, работница. А где? Какой-то обычный чел.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs.
А, вот в чем.
And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with smaragdus jadeite.
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of smaragdus jadeite?
That is indeed the case.
Приятно работать.
If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for smaragdus jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant, but after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
Очень догадливый.
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
Приятно вести с ним дела, когда такой догадливый. Да.
Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Да, теперь не отвертится. Нет, это Иванович. Нет, нет. Да блин, нет. Потом подойдем, Иванович. Андрей.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all.
Прижали.
According to my investigations and the
Уничтожили
material
тебя.
evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake. I demand to see your evidence.
У нас их есть для вас.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated...
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all.
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hair...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall...
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item... I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Oh.
However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell.
Ох, попался на крючок.
Smaragdus Jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand. Why would you?
Huh? No,
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus Jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
He's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different
Загнала в угол. Уничтожила, переиграла.
I admit it.
Дешевка
I
Кроссел.
confess, the ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus Jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus.
Поэтому нужно делать ресерч до того, как ты делаешь изделие.
I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Jiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus Jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
Ох, сам себя загнал в
All
угол,
right,
чувак.
let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jiqiao, you...
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this Smaragdus Jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration.
Что это?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever, it'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crossell come to an understanding?
Дело закрыто.
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business for a second if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores.
Вообще happy-end.
If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly.
Да.
Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all
Да.
over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents.
Просто.
Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution. An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor.
Oh.
In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Ainon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
Да, надо бабулю. Найдем бабулю. Наверху. Заберемся? Заберемся. О! Постеры. Развесили все-таки постеры.
One-Win Bookhouse. Guess this is where we go to buy books in Liyue. Should we ask here if they have a copy of the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide? It's super duper interesting.
Feel free to look around. There's no obligation to buy.
We're looking for the Liyue
Ой,
volume
ой.
of the Teyvat Travel Guide.
Триггернул какой-то
Do you have
квест.
it in stock?
Sorry, dear. We stopped stocking that a very long time ago. It just wasn't selling.
Huh? But the Mondstadt volume was so interesting. Bummer.
The thing is, the author made it too personal, and the result wasn't really much of a guide. It barely sold any copies, and the few travelers that did buy it made complaints afterward.
Well, that's a shame. The Mondstadt volume
Интересно,
was a good
слишком
read,
художественное
even just as
произведение,
an
а не где-то.
adventurer's diary.
The fact remains that I don't have it in stock. If you must read it,
Эх, жалко.
try your luck at Chang the Ninth's place.
Who's Chang the Ninth?
A book collector who lives in Chingsa Village. He's a
А,
complete
Чинца
grouch,
Village, я там был.
but he will behave himself if the conversation is about books. He was a regular customer here back when he lived in Liyue Harbor, and I still send him the odd out-of-print book or two every now and then.
Did somebody say out-of-print books?
О, книжки.
Is there a chance that Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd is also in his collection?
Ого.
Apologies, my liege. Where are my manners? My name is Sing Cho, a humble literature enthusiast who happened to be passing by.
Всех встретил.
Since you and I are both in search of lost books, what say we travel together to Mount Chingsa and pay a visit to
Вообще
Chang?
всех
My
испанцев
pleasure,
встретил.
fellow book
Отлично.
lover.
Если он книжный задрот, понятно. Нет, нет, другой квест. Другой квест. Чай. Нет.
buying or not.
Ладно, хорошо. Предположим, я этого не видел. Заберемся мы по стене или нет? Зачем я полез карабкаться по этим всем крышам? Вот надо было, надо было. Ну, карабкайся теперь. Раз уж начал. Ну, не так уж далеко осталось. Доберемся. Нормально. Оп. 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 Нормально. Так, сейчас, давайте, бабуля, бабуля. Вот, Лили. Бабуля. Мы все принесли.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the smaragd? Good,
Да.
good. Then we have all the
Пронырливая
materials we
внучка.
need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you?
Да.
All right then. Go see to your business.
All right
Granny
then.
should be able to handle
Keep
the
your
rest.
secrets.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you.
О,
I've
хорошо.
been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot. Hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lap. Ah, indeed she is. Liyue has
Да.
changed, and the Adepti must... Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all.
Да.
Ah, Liyue is
Цен.
not the same place I once knew. All right then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here.
О.
Hoo-hoo. There we go.
Летающий.
This serenity pot is
Serenity.
all yours now.
Ух.
Hold it
Ух,
firmly.
каламбуры.
If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen?
Ой.
Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Wait a minute,
Спасибо.
Granny! How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh,
Да.
you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a
Ага.
certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
Бдяу, чайник unlocked. Yeah. Ох. 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 Ох.
The case before it. Is a strange and unprecedented one indeed.
Ох. Завершить ли квест? Вот вопрос. Ну заглянем внутрь, интересно, интересно. Ага. Остров скучно. Да, гора. Да.
Sometimes the law's compatible.
Бродячий торговец бродит по чайникам.
This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's. There's even a great big house in the middle too. Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't
Да,
do
надо.
that. Well, you're the one with the sword anyway. You do it. Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second. What is...
Ага. И еще валюта.
Well,
Или какие-то
it
очки.
seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge
Птичка смешная.
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I... Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
So you're the little helper Madame Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me.
Это
Your
хорошо.
journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create
Что ты?
realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot
Духов
spirits were
нанимают.
created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may
Окей.
consider me a butler, if you will.
Да, дворецкий.
Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a...
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm
Да-да-да.
talking about. Go on, just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the
Очень
blueprint
просто.
shall appear within this teapot.
Очень просто.
Wow!
Изи.
Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides
У кого
merely
золотые
a
глаза? У
moment
деда
of
зла?
brief respite from
Нет.
the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
Клаудертейна?
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who
Да,
could that
интересно.
be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since.
Может быть, сам Рекс Лапис
Well, let's not
принял
dwell on
форму?
that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me.
Ага. Хорошо. Окей. Материалы. Adaptal Energy. То есть она генерируется сама. Ага. И путешествующий. Окей, ладно. допустим. Ага. Хорошо, логично, да. О, ничего себе. Ну, хорошо, что можно двигать. Хорошо. Ага. Хорошо. О. Ага. Очень хитро. Так. Хорошо, подарочек. А. Ага. Хорошо. Да, что дальше? Так. Не очень понял, но... Все, закончили квест. Упс. Так, ну это я изучу уже на досуге.
I'll remind you again.
Пока что.
The law can be both a help and a hindrance.
Я думаю, что на сегодня можно закончить. Да. Спасибо всем за просмотр. Расписание на следующую неделю я выложу где-то завтра. Ну, скорее всего, не будет сильно отличаться от расписания на прошедшую неделю, так что, да, где-то так. Да. Где? Я сюда не... Да, надо добавить. О, вот так. Вы можете меня найти в Твиттере, на Ютубе и в Твиче. На Твиче я не стримлю, но он у меня есть. По хендлу Kimbat. Всем спасибо. Ставьте лайк, подписывайтесь, комментируйте, не комментируйте, делайте, что хотите. Увижу вас снова либо на неделе, либо в выходные. Как? Следите за обновлениями в Твиттере, я пощу туда объявления о стримах. I think I will call it a day today, so thank you everyone. Leave a like, subscribe, comment if you want. If you don't want to, don't comment. Obviously, I will post the schedule sometime tomorrow. It won't really it won't really be different from this week's schedule. So yeah. See you either on a weekday or on next weekend. I believe on a weekday I will have some mood and strength to stream, so yeah. I want to stream more during the week. And I want to do so much stuff. Gosh, I'm slowly making the what I want to make, the whole streaming and VTubing thing. So yeah, thank you and bye, I guess. Всем пока.